I need to stop chewing like an animal, but
You're live already.
we're live. We're live and in the flesh. So hello everyone. It is good to see you again. We were just together on Tuesday and I like it like that. I like when we stay in touch. I like when we get to fellowship and to really spend some time together and grow together. Carmen, I saw on your Facebook page you wrote 2024 growing or something like that. Keep growing or something like that. But
Be more, do more, win more, get
yes, no.
more. All
That
of that in 2024.
that is my premise for this year. That is what I want to do and it's what I want to see other people do. And for those of you joining us tonight, in case you're new here, I am the Queen, Lady Abike Farley, and I am the CEO of the FPI Network LLC. We are a nationwide women's network changing the world, one mindset, one heart, one spirit at a time. And today we have with us my friend. She's my friend. I can't say that about everyone, but she's my friend, and I'm so happy. I'm honored to have her. She represents our Atlanta branch, and her name is none other than the wonderful coach, Mrs. Carmen Bernard.
That's right. Some people call me Carmen Bernard. Some people call me Boss Lady. Some people call me Carmen Boss Lady. Some people call me Coach Carmen. It does not matter. Well, it does matter what you call me. So watch your mouth. But as long as you come respectfully, we're good. But yeah,
All right, I want to just recap some points from our last chat. So, two very key things that I took away from the last chat is number one, you're never too old, nor are you ever too young to begin to have some financial planning for your life and financial literacy. Correct?
correct.
The,
Absolutely correct.
the second thing is that we don't really understand how money works and what money is for. We think that money is to pay bills. Is that correct?
Money is to make more money. Money is to have money babies.
I want my Benjamins to have little kids.
That's right. But
Yes,
the Benjamins are to make more Bens and
Ben Juniors,
Benjamininas and
Beninas. Yeah.
Benjanitas or whatever. That's the whole point of it. I had a quick conversation this afternoon um, with someone that I've been friends for a couple of years, and we actually taught together. She worked at a school where I taught, and I'm talking to her and I was like, I really got to get back into the schools because I have many friends that are still in schools, principals and things like that, but I have to talk to people so that people are not surprised when they come out. And I'm not talking about stupid people. I'm talking about educated people with their master's degrees and their doctorate degrees.
Yes.
And but they don't teach some of these things that we need to learn or know, right? And I was like, I need to get in there because I want to talk to especially some of the people that are getting ready to retire. And she said, stop. She said, no, you need to talk to the people who are just getting in there. And I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right.
I,
You are.
I so agree.
She was like, you need to tell the people that's just getting in there that their life insurance that they're buying for $1.25 per pay period. You need to tell them that when they work for 30 years and they're getting ready to leave, that insurance is now gone. And now they can't get insurance anyplace else because now they're 60 and now they have developed shoulder problems. Like me, I'm hurting right now. My shoulder, it needs to be in a sling or something. Shoulder problems, back problems, and worse, cancer and strokes and brain aneurysms and all these different things that now makes you uninsurable, right? And even if you can take the insurance with you for a little while, it is so very expensive. And a lot of times you have not calculated that into your budget. You have not calculated into how you are going, because remember, you're going from getting, when you're retiring, you're going from getting your 100% to now like 60%. But most of our bills are not going from 100% and 60%. If you can call your mortgage company and say, hey, they're now only going to pay me 60%. So can I pay you 60%? Yo, I want to have a talk with you because I want you to tell me how to do that.
So
Because it's not happening.
it's funny you say that. And hello, everyone. Thank you. I see your messages. We're happy to have you here with us tonight. I I'm going to ask Coach Carmen to tell you about her company, Big Facts. But before we do, I want to touch on that because I was talking with my friend today, and she said, um, you know how you have flex spending in your account. You have that flex money in your account for things that pop up. And so she was like, she went out on temporary disability. So that is still a part of our any company's insurance package. I hope it should be that way. But
Not
so she
every, but some companies, right?
not every, but she, she's fortunate enough to have like temporary disability. And she was saying that I didn't realize, like, she said she thought she was living well, like she was living above average. She thought that. But she's like, I didn't realize that on this little bit of money, I couldn't exist if this was all I had. Without, someone said these companies aren't giving benefits anymore. That's true. But
Right.
she said, oh, I thought I was being smart. And I'm like, yeah, because we work together. I'm like, we work on Wall Street. We know, you have your 401, you have your this, you either have that, we know all the things that we have to have put aside. Flexible spending, emergency funds, we have to have our disability paid up. Everything has to be paid up so that we can live. But she was like, it's literally not enough. Every time we talk about squirreling money away, we're putting this away. We're not really putting anything away, and it's not doing us any good.
That is the absolute truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some people may get the realization if they go out on temporary disability and they realize, right? Because if you're fortunate enough to have work with a company that you have some sort of temporary disability, um, where you're still getting some of your pay, you then realize that you don't get all of your pay, like you don't, and but you still have all of your bills,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So now what do I do if I still have all of my bills? Now, if you did set aside an emergency fund of a year, 6 months or a year, and your disability happened to be within that time, maybe you will be okay. But
Mm-hmm.
most of us are not okay. And we also find that we have, most of us, when we get ill is when we realize how that health insurance really works, right? We
Right.
think we have health insurance. Well, listen, health insurance, health problems, illnesses, that's the number one reason why people become bankrupt or have to file for bankruptcy. And it's not because they didn't have health insurance. Most of these do have health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a health insurance, there it doesn't mean like back when you just go and you're covered. It's not 100%. You
Mm-hmm.
have, what you need to learn, what is a co-payment. You need to learn what is co-insurance. You don't just jump and say, oh, I only have to pay $10 when I go to the doctor. But then there may be co-payments, there's
Mm-hmm.
co-insurance, there's
Mm-hmm.
deductibles, there's things they just don't cover because they don't, you
That's
know,
right. Mm-hmm.
and all these kind of things. And those surgeries and whatever can run in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And even if they paid 50 or 60%, you still have to come out of pocket for 40,000 if it was $100,000, right?
That's
And you're
true.
like, I'm trying to get along with my extra $40. You telling me about 40,000?
Yep.
There's just so much that we have to learn. Like, many people myth, believe that they've worked all their lives, they've put in this, they've done, so they've earned the right to get Medicare, and they think that Medicare is free, and it's not.
Mm-mm.
It's not. And then they realize, oh my God, well, Medicaid is just going to have to cover me. The government going to have to, because I worked, I give my life, I did. Absolutely not. The government is like, oh, hey, you got $3,000, you got $5,000, you're going to have to spend that all the way down first. You got $100,000, we're not helping you until you bring that down, until you are eating ramen every day, ramen, whatever the heck y'all call it. You are not we're not helping you.
That's true. One of the comments here, someone said companies aren't giving benefits away anymore, and they're not, because they are actually saving that money. So, if
Yes.
right, they're saving money by not giving their employees the benefits. But
Listen, they tricked us, right? When they told us, hey, listen, we're going to let you be in charge of your your money. We're not going to give pension anymore. We're going to have an account. It's going to be called a 401k, and you can put all your money in there. Listen, I am not bashing 401k for anybody, because listen, that saves a lot of seniors when they're getting ready to retire to have at least $100,000, because look, that's about the average that they're retiring with, like $150,000, and then all of that money doesn't even belong to them. And because Uncle Sam is like, remember when you took your check and you were like, give me my money now, bro, because I want to spend my money now, bro. Give me my money now, and I'll pay you back later.
Yep. Yep.
Well, I'm going to tell you a little story that you might want to think about, and that is the analogy of the farmer, right?
Mm-hmm.
The farmer can buy a pack of seeds for a dime and plant that thing. He's going to pay taxes on that dime. Would you rather, if you were the farmer, would you rather pay taxes on that seed, that 10 that taxes maybe 10%, whatever, on that dime or that dollar that you paid for the seed? Or would you rather until you grow it and now you have a harvest of $100 or
Mm-hmm.
$1,000? Would you rather pay the taxes on $1,000 or on $10? But that's what we do when we do it with our 401k. We're saying, listen, I'm not going to pay the taxes now. I'm going to wait and pay the taxes later.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're paying the taxes later, now, look at the world now. Taxes got to go up because they got to pay for stuff,
That's
right?
right. That's
So
right.
you're going to now end up paying more. So am I saying not to do a 401k? Absolutely not. And by the way, none of this is any kind of financial advice for you. This is just education. This is just making you aware. I'm not talking about you and your specific situation. To do that, you need to book a call with me. But what I'm saying is that when you have your 401k, if they're giving free money, you want to make sure you put in the amount to match to the free money, but that might be 3 or 4%. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're supposed to be saving between 10 and 20% of your money for later on, most people stop right there and they don't do anything else. Oh,
Right.
this is not to put they only put the match, and then they don't do anything else. No, that other 16% or 6% or how much ever it is needs to go somewhere where it's going to continue to grow for you. Now you've already paid your taxes on that. Now, when you start to reap, it's going to be tax free. And there are many vehicles for you to do that.
Now, I Nurse Wendy, if you'd like to come onto stage, just let me know. I don't want to. I'm going to unmute you. If you have a question or you'd like to step to the stage, you can do so. So I just want to put that out there. I One thing, Miss Carmen, I I know that you're not giving us personal one-on-one advice, but please tell us about, because I interrupted you. I tell us about Big Facts, your company, who you are, and what makes you qualified to give advice.
Okay. So I am the founder and CEO of Big Facts. Big Facts is the acronym for Bernard Insurance Group, Financial and Consultant Services. And just in a quick nutshell, what I do is I help people to protect their income, eliminate debt in 10 years or less with the same money that they're using. I thought she was going to interrupt me. Create a tax-free income, retirement income that you cannot outlive, and create a legacy of generational wealth. So that's what I do. As for why or how I can do it, I have multiple certifications. I keep educating myself. I keep learning, which, by the way, I keep learning and I keep sharing, and that's why I'm qualified to do what I do, and I'm good at what I do.
Yes,
So
you are. Yes, you are.
so get with me, speak with me, and let us look and see what you can do. Now, some people might have heard the statement that I just said and said, oh, I can do this with whatever money. Well, maybe we might have to do some additional things. Maybe you need to learn to do, you need to have a side job, a side hustle. You need to learn to do what I do. We're looking for people to educate the community. So you need to do that, or you need to start some sort of business or something like that, so you're able to do the things that you need to do. But all of that is based on you
Yeah.
individually. But that's when you come talk to me individually.
Well, when I was doing the promo for tonight and the commentary about tonight, um I get that. I always get people who say like, no two people are like that. We understand that. You consider that. That's why you do one-on-one consultations, correct?
Correct.
But someone said like, oh, you're giving information. I bit my tongue a couple of days ago. It's so bruised. But
Oh,
yeah, someone said you're giving out information that we can't relate to. We don't understand. Like not everyone can save money. And that's where I disagree with this person. And I said, everyone can save money. If I had $10 in my pocket right now, and let's say this $10 has to stretch till tomorrow's Friday. Let's say tomorrow's Friday, and I get paid tomorrow, and I have $10 in my pocket. This $10, I can take $5 out of the house and leave $5 at home. A strategy which you possibly teach, right? Pulling back on what you spend or how you spend or where you spend. Like I could take a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It'll cost me nothing from my home to work. But my point is that everyone can save money at
that's
any stage of their life.
that is absolutely true, right?
Mhm.
And I think we had a show a couple of weeks ago, and probably more than once too. So you can follow me on Facebook, Carmen Boss
Mhm.
Lady Bernard, Carmen, Big Facts with Carmen on Instagram, Big Facts on just Big Facts without the T. But we talked about this, right? Anybody can save money. People will tell you, I can't save. I'm in the negative. I really can't save. But when you get down to it and you look at everything that they're doing, right? They might have to have their Starbucks coffee once a week because of whatever. And then they might say, well, that's all. That's my only thing. You're going to take that from me? But no, I agree that you should be able to, you're working, you should be able to do. I'm not about to try to take away every good thing in your life, right? But maybe you don't have Starbucks coffee twice a week, or maybe you don't have it once a week every month. Maybe you have it 3 weeks, and maybe you try to figure out how you can make some coffee and throw some vanilla in the thing, and it becomes Starbucks coffee at home. There's just Here's another thing. Look around the house. A lot of us, we have so many things. Try to sell that. You haven't used it in 3 years. You haven't used it in 5 years. In my case, you haven't used it in 15 freaking years, but you keep thinking I'm going to go back down to that size. Try to see if you can sell that. Okay, yes, you paid $80 for it back in 2006 or whatever. It's not worth that anymore to anybody. Yeah, maybe you can give it away, give it to somebody, and you get $3. But guess what? That's $3 that's going in your savings, right? We can save. We just got to find some strategies, right? We can save, we can invest. There are things now, there are, and saving and investing are two different things, but
Mm-hmm.
they are, when we're talking about investing, we're talking about long term and leaving it there, you know. It's you don't save $300 and then take the $300 in time for a shopping day or whatever, you know, and things like that. But there were times when we couldn't invest, right, especially in our community, because you needed to have thousands of dollars, and I'm talking thousands. They weren't even looking at us if we had even 5 or 10 or 20 or $30,000.
That's
But
right.
now you can invest in Apple with $5, with $3, because we have so many platforms that allow us to invest into these types of companies with fractional investments.
Mm-hmm.
So you're purchasing a piece of the stock. Yes, it may cost $500 for the stock, but you can get $3 or $5 piece of
Mm-hmm.
that stock, and we start there and we keep going, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the things I think you had asked me was talk a little bit about my philosophy on investing, right?
Yes.
And basically, I'm gonna start there because listen, I have been there and I'm not very far removed. So don't think, but I have been there, right? I've told this story several times on online on the show or whatever. My husband and I, when we were first married, or were we living in sin then? I don't know.
I'm
But
going. I fainted.
37 years married, whatever, and still happily married. So that's okay. But my daughter, um we had $40. We were going to the store. We weren't going to save any of the $40, by the way, but we were going to go to the store to buy some food, to make sure we had some food. And we got dressed, and then we're looking around for, he had placed it down somewhere, I guess, on the table or something. We can't find the $40. We looked everywhere.
I love this story.
We lifted up everything. We looked everywhere. There wasn't even much places to look because we lived in like this one little square thing, so it wasn't much place. So where could the $40 have gone? Listen, I have been there. I'm telling you. Talk to somebody who knows what you're going through and who got someplace else. That's the people you need to talk to, not the people who are telling you, oh no, you shouldn't be able to do that. And they didn't ever do it themselves. But we finally gave up and decided we were going to starve for the rest of the week. This was back in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
1984, when Jesus was a baby,
Mm-hmm.
right? My granddaughter just asked my daughter, were you alive when Jesus was born? So like then, when Jesus was a baby, we were looking for the $40. We couldn't find the $40. And finally, after everybody sat down or whatever, we found the $40 inside of my daughter's pocket. So trust me, I understand. I understand. She had it. She was going shopping. She knew that we needed the money to go shopping, so she
Mm-hmm.
put it in there. But she was, I don't think she was a year, and she might have been a year and a couple months. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Small
And
kid.
yeah. So just she couldn't talk and say, "Here, I have the money. Here it is. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go." She probably didn't even know what we were looking for or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Still call her a little shyster since she stole that money when she was little. But we did get the money back. But so I understand, right? I understand that, right? But if now these days, people are not, well, I shouldn't say people, but a lot of people, especially you've seen on Facebook, online, people are finding ways and inventing new ways to make money. So people are making money. We are making money. The problem is keeping it,
That's
right?
it. Yep.
It's keeping it, right? And so for me, the first thing that I say to you is on trying to understand how money works. And that begins with getting a financial education, right? That
Mhm.
begins with researching, right? Looking for trying to understand exactly how money works and how to make money work for you. How to make money. I think I posted this today. How to make your money your slave.
That's I read that and I was like, ma'am, teach
Make
me because I
money.
I always wanted a slave.
Yeah, make money your slave. Figure out how to make money work for you. And money is not working for you if it's sitting stagnant in a savings account that's giving you less than 1% interest, right? I
Mhm.
know, I know. Mama told us to save her money, get a savings account and put it in there. But it's not the most sound advice anymore.
Right. And I think that one of the reasons it's not sound advice, not just because it came from a generation or three or four or five before us, before our time, but that advice pertained to the era and the cost of living and the quality of living of that time, which that it's no longer pertains to us. And that brings me to one of the questions that someone sent in today. They asked what exactly is disinflation? Disinflation.
So that's a very good question, right?
Mhm.
And disinflation basically means okay, so let me go back. We know that inflation means the cost of goods rising
Mhm.
very high. Disinflation means when the cost of goods is still rising, but it's not rising as fast, right?
Okay.
So meaning last year, right? Last year you could buy something for $20. This year, it's $20.50 or $21,
Mhm.
right? But if you look back 2 or 3 years ago, it was first it was 15, then it was 17, then it was 19, and then it was $20. It only went up one. So it went up like $3, $3, then it went up one, and now it only went up 50 cents. So prices are still going up, but they're going up slower. It's like taking a break. Inflation is taking sort of a break. So that's different from deflation, but that's
Mhm.
what disinflation means, right? And we've had some of those periods because you saw back in was it 20 late 2020 21 with prices inflation shot up really high.
Mhm.
Now it and then it come back down,
Yeah.
but it's not back to where it was how it was going, which we thought was high in the first place.
Mhm.
Till we found out what high really meant, really was, as we're looking now at the interest rates and things like that. So like the Fed is like, we're not going to bring down interest rates yet because we're not
Right.
really sure, but
Right.
we're in that temporary lull period.
Right. So for me, my thought, and I just putting into use, skills and practice and experience. I think that this is the perfect time to have a passion or to desire to um, become financially stable, educated, financially informed, because as long as the rate is slowing by which it is raised, disinflation, then now is the perfect time. It's not too late because I agree. I said when it's never too late.
Right.
But don't wait until inflation is so high that you can't, your nickel saved is literally just a cent, 1 cent.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
don't wait for that point.
You said a word right there, right? Because that's what we need people to really and truly understand. Because they think, okay, I saved $300, but $300 today is not the same as $300 last year or $300 today. The number is the same, but the value is not the same, right? So that $300 is not going to be next year. And just to, for anyone who's like, well, break it down for me just a little bit more. You remember when you could go into the store with $1 and get 4 packs of chips? You still got $1 now, but you could only get 1 pack of chips. Maybe
Maybe.
you might have to come up with something. You might have to come up with a few more cents or something to get 1 pack. So that's the whole thing of not letting that money sit there. So we have to figure out how to make that money grow at least as fast as inflation is going, so to maintain the value. Otherwise, our dollars eroded and eroded away, and we can't buy the same things we used to buy. Right? That's why a house that used to cost that used to be, $70,000 or $80,000 is now 4, 5, $600,000. And so you're here putting your money in the bank, not getting any kind of good interest for it, any kind of good return on it, trying to get to $80,000. And then you get to $80,000, you're like, yay, I can buy my house. And then when you go to buy your house, the $80,000 is not good anymore. You need 300,000.
$80,000 is literally a down payment.
Yes.
It's just
Listen,
a down payment.
listen, and I am never ever coming back to live in New York, for real, for real, for real, because
Yeah.
we can buy a house here for literally what y'all pay for a 1 bedroom apartment. And that's something, that's another thing, right? I was reading about these older couple that relocated to North Carolina
Hmm.
because, and they sold their home and they went there and they bought a home and stuff like that. But what they found is that the price of goods wasn't too much different. Yeah, taxes was less, but the price of goods weren't too much different. So
Yes.
those are things, and so they're looking at running out of their money, you know, or somebody going to Walmart. You walk in Walmart and you're like, why aren't you with your grandkids playing somewhere? They're there at the front of the thing, which I'm always
Checking out your
annoyed.
stuff slowly,
Right.
slowly.
And I'm super always annoyed because I've already had to work for free for Walmart to either get the thing or stand in a long, long line. Because there are times when I refuse to work for free to do whatever. So I'll stand in the long, long line. Now for you to come tell me you want to do what? So I'm like, no, call the police because I'm leaving. Here's my bill. Here's my thing. I'm going. Call the police.
Uh, um, that's all true. And you said something earlier. You told a funny story about your daughter, and you know, I just the reason why I'm so passionate about this, and I told my husband who's waiting for me, even though I'm exhausted, but I'm like, I don't care what today is. I have to take the time to present this to people because I got so many comments about the last one, and I said we would follow up, and we are following up. But what makes me passionate about it is like speaking to the story that you just talked about. You know, I myself have had my own situations. Forget when I was younger, and I had a child, and we were married and we were just kids married, but of course we had situations. But fast forward, like your situation is funny, and it's something you got over quickly. But I think to like right now, my situation, like I had a medical emergency, and that literally, bless God, bless God Almighty, that I had an understanding, a true understanding of what to do with my money and how to use it and how to save it, because I lived off of that money for over a year
Yes.
without going bankrupt, without having to get a job, without having to go into Walmart and pack bags or anything like that. But
Yes.
what I am really saying is that the reason I believe people should reach out to you, because I myself, this is in prayer, this is in business, this is in anything. If you don't understand where I'm coming from, you cannot help me.
Yes.
Your knowledge is wonderful, but I need someone whose heart is going to be in it.
Right.
And they're going to be able to say, you know what you really need, and pull me to the side and say, you know what, there's another way I can help you. this will work for you. This will work in your case. And
Yeah.
that's why I believe that everyone listening to this call should take this so personal, because you can help anyone where they are at whatever stage of their life that they're in. One, and I said that I'm supposed to be out spinning my heels and dancing with my husband because it's our anniversary, but I'm passionate about this. I believe in what you're doing, Carmen, so passionately, because I know what it's like. I can but imagine not having what I had. Like,
Right.
what, I would be outside selling fruit cocktail, and it's chubby now, so it's not all that good. But
But Lady Farley, anybody who's listening tonight, even if you can't get on, go back and look at the live at 8:30 p.m. I'm going to be on live with two other colleagues. We are talking about living benefits. We're calling ourselves friends with benefits, friends with living benefits. And the reason I want you to listen is because Lady Farley just shared a part of her story with what happened with her when she had a medical emergency that took her out of work for 1 year or more. You
mm-hmm,
know, just think about that. Living benefits are things that can help you, even if you had saved your money, because let me tell you, it's so much better spending other people's money than yours, right? So now, instead of having to use, thank God you have that to use, but what if you had a reservoir that you can open and have that bring that into you, and now your money is still working for you and doing what it was supposed to be doing. And that's what
mm-hmm,
we're going to be talking about tonight, about living benefits, because so many people, young people, have medical emergencies. And I hope that tonight I can share your story on my show, and I can direct people to come back and look at this live. And um if you have a friend or what, because I know this is in our group, so it's private, but have them join us. If they're a woman, and especially if they're a woman of color, we will not turn you away if you're not a woman of color, but we are passionate about women of color.
mm-hmm,
So, and getting them to understand and learn these things, because we deserve to have profitable businesses. We deserve to be able to save money and invest money and have our future not being working in Walmart for checking bags. We deserve to be able to leave something for our grandchildren so they are not starting all the way over like the last set of generations, right? We deserve to be able to do that. And we're able to do that in this group. And reach out to me. Like, you know, so you can at least come look at that. But you can also, I'll share the thing on my group, but reach out to me so that you can come back and look at this show if you missed it or someone missed it. And then tonight we are actually talking about living benefits and how good they are. And y'all, life insurance is literally the answer to life's problems. It's not only about death. And that's what we're going to be talking about when we talk about, it is for if you die too early, but it's also for if you become ill, if you suffer a medical emergency that takes you out of work, for that makes you not able to walk, that makes you not able to talk, that makes you not able to use the bathroom by yourself, that makes you not able to dress yourself. What happens, right? That takes care of you for that. That also takes care of you if you live too long, you end up being an old fart like forever. Just keep living. All your friends are dying, but you keep living. But I'll tell you one thing, you're not gonna run out of money. You're gonna keep living and living good.
mm-hmm. That's the goal. That is the goal. I want to just speak to the point of why I have a passion. I said to you, and I believe this, like I said, in all aspects of my life. I don't take advice from people who haven't lived. I don't um I don't look for answers in people who are lost. So as a Black woman who have seen, ups and downs, seeing life come and go, my heart is to help not just Black women, all women, anyone dealing with poverty. But the reason why I believe in financial literacy and education is because I think it says that we all, those who have jobs, and I think this goes across the board for entrepreneurs, anyone, we, most people are literally just one paycheck. One, that means if you miss one paycheck, you could possibly be homeless. If you miss one paycheck, you can lose your lights. If you miss one paycheck, you can miss a meal. And it goes on and on and on. But I detest poverty with a passion. My a couple girlfriends and I'm gonna take a minute to do a shameless plug. I'm sorry. A couple girlfriends and myself, we've written a book, and it's about entrepreneurship, and it speaks to the spiritual aspect of it. And one of the things that I say in the book is that the reason the devil fights us so much when it comes to being financially independent is because it's a spiritual battle, and poverty is evil. I stand by that. Poverty is evil, but I want to read to you, Miss Carmen, read to everyone, for people who said that we don't know what poverty is. Some, I've heard a saying before that said, I'm not poor, I'm po. I can't afford the other O and the R. But poverty poverty are for people who are making less than $20,000 for a family of four. And so if you're an individual and you make less than $15,000 a year, you're in poverty. And back to my point, of all of the people who are impoverished, Black and Latino people make up 90% of the poverty. Not That's like we have a monopoly on poverty.
Yeah, we do.
I
Yes,
thought
we
that was
do.
impossible, but it is a fact.
We
And
do.
what proves that fact is that the dollars in Black communities, they don't stay within a community. They stay in a community less than 24 hours. I believe it's less than 8 hours. Our dollars don't even circulate within our communities for 8 hours. And that's why we do what we do.
Now
But
compare that with the Jewish dollar.
which stays in what, for 31 days?
Yes.
31 days.
Right. And then, even to what you were speaking to, and I know we got to go, we're coming up, so I guess maybe last 3 minutes or so, but even to what we're speaking of with people who may find, who are living paycheck to paycheck or paycheck to tomorrow, paycheck to the weekend, whatever, people like that. Um, Maybe you're younger, right, and you're healthy, so you're still able to do something. But then think of people who are older, they or they're disabled, or they're suffering from some kind of illness, then they are unable to do anything. It breaks my heart a lot of times that I will speak to people that they might be between 60 and 65, but they cannot work anymore. They're tired of it. They have heart problems, they whatever, but they are not going to get Medicare until they're 65.
7 Oh,
Until they're 65, they're not going to get Medicare. So now um they need medical insurance, right? And although I help people with that, sometimes, like states like the state of Georgia, who did not expand Medicaid to be able to help those people are basically stuck because the whatever they're getting in from Social Security is not even enough to qualify as enough income to be able to get on a marketplace plan. So some of these people, you know one I spoke with a little while ago, I said, she said she was doing some cooking and for some other people, some food planning and stuff like that. Hey, listen, I need you. That's going to have to become a little side business so that we can bulk up that income, right? You're going to do the you're going to pay the taxes on it or whatever, you most likely still not going to pay the taxes. You're probably still going to be under the standard deduction for a single person. But this is the information we need to get to people, because people don't understand that they can do that. And there's people going without insurance, without medication, without lots and lots of things. Even if it's you might, one lady, two people like that I spoke to this week, because one, she actually just got kicked off of Medicaid, in that thousands of droves that they kicked off people off of Medicaid, right? And if you got kicked off of Medicaid and you need help, call me. Let's see what we can do to help. But for her, she was thinking maybe I can have a sit-in job with somebody, like where I'm just being where I'm being uh, a person just to keep their company, or whatever. And I can do cleaning and this and that, whatever, but I can do that. And it's really sad, number one, that you're here in this age, and yet in that final 1/3 of your life. Listen, that's where I am too. And I say that final 1/3 of your life because we're lucky if we make it to 80, 85, 90 or something like that. And for me, y'all, welcome. I am in the final 1/3 of my life. I'm turning 60, so I'm there. If you don't believe me, get a paper and cut it up. If 1 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 90, you better be happy that you made it here. I bless God each day for that. But imagine that, and this is what you're going through. What could it have been if they had that education before?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because most people are, I wish I knew that. I didn't know that, you know. So
Yep.
that's the reason.
I
And that's the reason I'm passionate for what I do as well.
And that's why we see each
I
other.
know, right? My husband's like, aren't you have another show tonight? Why are you doing something else? Why are you always? But I try, just like you. I'm gonna hurry up and let you go for your husband cancels, divorces. I'm just kidding. Our
Listen,
husbands.
we ride this ship to its sinks.
Well, our husbands. We got the same kind of husbands. So,
Mhm.
um, but it's not. I know he tells you to. You work too hard. Your thing, and this right here. What you're doing, and even what I'm doing, is indication of what we do and why we do it. So.
That's right. That's right. There are some comments, and I'm going to let you go, but there's one comment I want to address because I'm like, who this Facebook user? I'm like, who are you? Did my dad put you up to this?
What did he
What's your
say?
name? It says, it's like having champagne dreams on a Kool-Aid budget. My
That's
father,
right.
my father used to tell me, you have
Champagne dreams on a
champagne
beer
kiss
budget.
for the beer budget.
Yep. Champagne dreams on a beer budget. Yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. But also, I say this all the time, right? It's all about priorities. It's all about first understanding and then about priorities, right?
Mhm.
Because people will do what they want and then beg for what they need.
Ma'am, you're so right. You're so right. I I want you I like that as a closing thought. So people will do what they want and beg for what they need.
Mm-hmm.
I always say, like someone who heard about this meeting tonight, they're like, "Oh, I have to pay you $5 cash app." I'm like, "Listen, we're not really in a stage of what's that, deflation or
this
de-inflation. We're not
inflation.
disinflation. We're not in that, ma'am. And I have to pay for services to bring these,
Mm-hmm.
platforms and this information to people. Of course you do. And she's like, "Oh, I really need this information." Of course, I sent it to her, like, "Come join, watch, whatever." And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see her. She texted me and she's like, "Are you on?" But my point is, you are 100% correct. And I myself, I am leery of people who need information that they can get for free, but they're too lazy to get the information, even
Mm-hmm.
for free.
Even for free. Even
Even
for
for
free.
free.
Yeah. And
Scary.
I mean, it is a good closing thought, and I want people to truly understand what I mean, right? You, especially younger people, you know, you'll go get a tattoo, what did I see this morning? There was something I saw of what people were paying. If I find it, I'm going to post it. But
Mhm.
it was like people are paying $1,600 for, I don't remember what it was, but let's say it was shoes. You know,
Mhm.
that's 3 years of your life insurance if you got a term policy. So that in case
Yep.
something happened to you, you can
Yep.
now get those living benefits that I was talking to you about, you know, because people, especially
Excuse
when,
me.
bless
Thank
you,
you.
especially when you're young, we're talking $10 a month or less for $100,000 worth of
Right.
coverage,
Right.
right? And these same people will, take that $10 and throw it at whatever else. And or you'll go get a tattoo, you'll go get your hair done. I'm not saying you shouldn't. You'll go get your nails done for $395. You'll go, oh, you know what? I think it was that. It was like nails, how many things it
Mhm.
was. And
Mhm.
listen, y'all, I'm not I when I want to do my nails, I do my nails. Okay? I'm not saying don't do your nails, but
Mhm.
I am just saying if you're going to pay $395 to do your nails, and it's $395 to protect your life and the loved ones, your kids, if something were to happen to you when you were coming back home from doing your nails, make it make sense.
As the kids say, the math ain't mathing.
The math and and also, if you're gonna call me, be don't have no thin skin, because I'm gonna tell you the truth, because I will tell you the truth. Because if you're paying $400 for your nails, a bag, whatever it is, but you have no life insurance, make it make sense. If you're driving the fanciest cars, but you have no money in savings, no money to be investing, make it make sense.
Ma'am, that is true. That is true. But that is a mindset that has to change because I've seen people do GoFundMe's for funerals and they live in like they live in Prada, they stay in Gucci, they have Louis Vuitton, they have weekend cars and this type car and everything. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting money to help your family. I believe in helping people. I live my life by helping people. But when you refuse to take care of the real necessities of your life because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses or appear to be wealthier than you are, then you need to look at your mind. There is a book called The Slave Mind, and that is a slave mind. But
Mhm.
before we say goodbye and thank you, I want to let people know that we are going to, there it is. We're going to be reading this book for those who want to join us in the month of May. This is my third time reading it. I am working on purchasing another home, and I want to have 6 homes in my portfolio. But I'm reading this book to recondition and resharpen my mind. You're welcome to join us. For those of you who is in the comments saying thank you for this, we thank you, Miss Carmen. We thank you, Coach Carmen Bernard. You can find her. Her company is Big Facts, BIGFACS. So look her up and don't, go take a break, go take a PP break, get some get a
Yeah,
snack and come on back. Get
because
a
I'm
snack and come on back in
yep,
honor
I'm
of
on
the
again.
lovely Miss Wendy Williams, whom I hear she was diagnosed with something today or another. But in her honor, join Carmen at 8:30 p.m. sharp. You can catch her live. It's called Millionaire Mob,
Millionaire Ladies Mob.
Millionaire Ladies Mob. So I'm gonna put that in the chat so you guys can I can spell millionaire.
Yeah, Millionaire Ladies Mob. Mob for money over boys. I'm just kidding. I just made that up.
That was a good one though. I like that. I like that. Carmen, thank you so much for your time. Maybe we should do something on maybe you help women get life insurance. We find out who doesn't have it.
Yes, yes,
And then
definitely.
right, we should do something like that.
And
But
not only if you don't have it, because more than 50% of the people who have it do not have enough, right? And real quick, I know we said we were getting off, but we're like the pastor. Give me a few more, just give me 2 more minutes and 20 more minutes.
go on, Pastor, take your time.
20 more minutes. But they do not have enough. it's not our fault. We were conditioned to think, get a term policy. Yo, term policies are great, but it's not enough sometimes, especially most people, 2% of term policies pay out because we outlive it. So we also need we needed something different. And when they tell you to buy term and invest the difference, we typically forget the second part. We just get to the first part. And then they've conditioned us to think that these final expense or burial policies is insurance. You'll talk to somebody, do you have insurance? But yeah, I have life insurance. And then, yeah, I'm good. I got whatever. And you find out they have $10,000 of life insurance. Like, what is that going to do? It barely can cremate you.
Yeah.
Because especially if your family wants to,
They just got to
bring,
put you in a baggie, tie you up, and throw you over the
right,
river.
right, and all that, it can barely do that. Like you were saying, you said something just now that put a thought in my mind, and now I can't remember exactly what it is. But we cannot, I have life insurance. You got $10,000, you got 20,000, you got $30,000, you got 4 kids. What? The math and mathing, as you said.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Right?
mm-hmm.
You got 4 kids. The
They're gonna
math
be
and mathing.
they're gonna be fighting.
They're gonna be fighting to live, because
Mm-hmm,
what are they gonna live on? Right? And I'm
mm-hmm.
not talking about 4 adult kids, I'm talking about your 4 children that you have. You're going to get your BBL, but you have no life insurance, and you're going to Mexico or Dominica or wherever the heck they do the BBLs, that the people are dying like in droves and stuff like that. Please, please. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you that I typically tell the truth and I tell it out. So if you don't want that, don't call me. But if you do, call me now.
All right, Miss Cleo, we're gonna hang up.
Miss Cleo, call me now. I got you, girl. I got you. Or boy,
All right,
I
Carmen,
got you.
I thank you so much. I love you. I love what you do. I I stand behind you, and I support you, because I know that if we had more of you, there would be less people in trouble. If we had more people like you.
That's absolutely right. And we need more of me. So I need you to call me so that you can become a me in your own way, because we need more people
Mhm,
to address this epidemic, this
mhm,
pandemic
mhm.
of not understanding about money.
I agree. I agree. To those of you watching us across Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for your time here today. It was well spent. You can't put a price tag on information like this. You can't, because if you did, you wouldn't be here, because you would have paid for it. And I know you, but nevertheless, we love you. God bless you. We'll see you next time. Speak to you soon, Miss Carmen. I'm going on a date.
Have fun, lady. All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye bye.